our dear spectators as well as active English learners. We are again with you on IELTS Secrets program on Foreign Language TV channel. So dears, if you are watching us, you have made the right choice, because today we can know more IELTS secrets by our today's guest. His name is Mr. Parveen. Yeah, if you are ready, dears, let's start our program. Good part of the day, Mr. Parveen. Welcome to our studio. I'm very glad to see you on IELTS Secrets program.
Thank you so much, and I'm also glad. From my side, assalamu alaikum to everyone, yakshimishes, and I believe my namaste also goes to everyone, and I'm excited to be here, and this is my first time officially talking about this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming one more time. So Mr. Parveen, it would be better if we start our conversation by introducing yourself for our dear viewers.
Okay, that sounds like an IELTS speaking question. Introduce yourself.
Yes, of course, but the first part.
First part, and then I know what are the parameters, like you will judge me on coherence, fluency, and there and there. So
like
fine.
Pronunciation,
yes,
right?
my full name is Parveen Sharma. I'm from India, and I'm a teacher. I was a teacher in India, teaching English, communication skills. Now I am working with the American University of Technology, which is around Homo Arena. We have recently opened here, and I'm the director for English language and communication. And I have been a student of communication and English. So that's what it is. I'm in Uzbekistan for more than 2 years now. A wonderful country for me. I love traveling, I love reading, and when I say traveling and reading, I actually do that.
Yeah, of course. You have been there for 2 years, and you know that IELTS is being much more important actions, even the certificate among the young learners. So for many young learners, it's really essential to enter the universities, to apply for in countries. So what do you think? What is the first step or the very important thing when it comes to preparing for the IELTS exam?
Okay, now when you're mentioning admissions,
yeah,
so it's more about admissions and scholarships. If they are not going out of Uzbekistan, they need to learn English to have good jobs here. I'm not saying that if you stay in Uzbekistan, you don't need to learn English. You must learn English because companies are coming to Uzbekistan. This Yoshlar country is inviting the whole of West. I know that India is also coming here because the young generation is good in working. But there's a need. So IELTS is a need-based proficiency test for us, be it India or Uzbekistan, and we are same in it. So you need to prepare for IELTS keeping in mind the very first mantra or the secret, and it's an open secret to everyone. You need to be aware that it's a language. It's not something which is like mathematics or sciences in which you will fail. So you always pass in a language. For example, if I speak 10 words of Uzbek, I'm still good, improving. But mathematics, if you finish it half, it's no use. So a language is like English is there. So whatever you learn in English will always be useful to you. That you must remember. And if you don't remember this one, then you go crazy. You go disappointed also, because in IELTS, if you're getting 5.5, so you start thinking that you're not good in English. So today I'm going to break that belief that even if you are at 3.5 or 4, you have moved forward. So we should plan of improvement. So we should take language just as a language. It's not a subject. It's not mathematics. If you know 50 words, 1000 words, 500 words, it means you still know something. So IELTS is a need-based test for admissions. Don't forget that you are learning a language.
You mean, first of all, students, IELTS candidates should set up kind of mindset themselves in terms of the IELTS exam.
Yes, it's not a fail-pass situation. You always pass. You always get good results in learning a language.
That's great. So for the taking high band score from the IELTS exam, what kind of basic secrets can you share?
Okay, the basic secrets you say. I teach English, and whatever we have been teaching in India is almost the same for Uzbekistan, I will say. Why? Because in India also people are crazy about English. Here also we are crazy about English, and when I say crazy, that's very strange to say, but yes, we are crazy. The reason is all investment, jobs and everything is based on English. So there's nothing wrong with it. We are same, we are barkhal as we say this thing. But when the basic secret comes about this If I see the manzil, I mean, I know my destination. So what we do is we start preparing for like basic. We start from band 1 and then we go to 9. Let's start with 9 and then come down if we do mistakes. So the basic secret is you must not forget that first you should see how they do assessment. If you know the assessment points, you prepare for them. You know, like in football, you know, that's my goal, that's their goal. So you know your boundaries.
Yeah.
So what happens in IELTS is people start preparing and they prepare for so many things. So we should focus on what are the examination criteria or what is the assessment points. The very first thing is if you know the features, like they say there are 4 points, like coherence or lexical, vocabulary, pronunciation. You know these 4, you start correcting them. So only work on something which will get you good scores and learning a language with practice and participation.
Yeah, knowing and following the criteria is
knowing
the
and following.
basic
Because it's all a point. You say band, so the band will come only when you know the points.
You know, there is a different students, as you talked before, kind of smart, lazy, and they are different. And their scores will be different also.
It's always different.
Yeah, what do you think? What is the main mistake when it comes to students taking lower band score? They can prepare enough, they can take a long time for, let's say, taking IELTS band score in a higher level, but they cannot do it. What is their mistakes? How do you think?
Most of us fall between maybe 6 to 7.5.
Yeah.
And from 7.5 to 8.5 is the fun part. I mean, that's what people want to do. So if you fall on 7.5, then you need to see which part of listening, speaking, reading, writing is hurting you. But between 5.5 to 6.5, the secret lies that you have to raise them equally. You cannot say that 6.5 will not happen to you if you are good in one. You need to be good in everything. So 6.5 is an average where we need to reach. And the preparation plan that I can talk, I have got something that I should not forget to share with all of you. Like if I look at the description of 9 band,
of course,
which is called expert user. I'm an expert user of Hindi and can be called for English as well because I've been teaching, I have learned it, my degrees are in that. You can be called an expert speaker of English because of your C1, then goes to Uzbek and Russian as well. Or maybe some people know like Turkish language, or they may know Tajik as well. Expert speaker is the one which the band score descriptors say, which all of us need to target. That is, has complete command on English language or any language, accurate, highly flexible, appropriate, fluent with full understanding. So if I say that someone has got a high score, can I say someone has a big score? If high score is more suitable with the score, it goes with it. So if I say high score, like you know, you eat a fruit, so it's a shireen fruit, sweet fruit. So for fruit we use the word sweet then. So if that is called appropriateness, I mean it is there for the occasion. So expert users for the high band, they are accurate, highly flexible, they are appropriate, I mean they know what is correct, and they're fluent also. We will talk about how to be fluent. And the second one, which is 8 band family, they say that such a person, like all our learners, they have complete command with only rare errors. I mean, they don't do errors, but sometimes the errors happen, maybe, and those errors are not about vocabulary. They are that some sentences structure may go wrong. I mean, some system will break, and they sometimes use some inappropriate words that I will say, you know, it's a beautiful bread. Yeah, what is this beautiful bread? You say, it's my feeling. But an examiner will say, you know, use the appropriate word for it. Such small mistakes will happen. You can deal with complex situations as well when you are very good user or expert user, and your errors will be there, and you can deal with some argument also, some debate can happen. So we are working on 8 and 9 band things. Are you fluent? Are you able to customize or design your speech? If someone says something, okay, fine, stop this, start this topic now. Can you design things like that? So if you can customize things, then I guess this works very well.
Yeah, I mean the learners have to learn such kind of things first of all.
Situation-based communication.
Access themselves.
Themselves,
right?
yes, yes.
Great. So before just moving another questions, I'm really thinking about the IELTS system in India. You have already talked about the Indian young people also crazy about the IELTS. Please share more information about the IELTS world in India.
Fine. So, like about India, Bollywood, you know. So there's nothing to share about Bollywood.
Yeah.
And in Bollywood, you see that our film stars will sometimes try to show that they are rich, so they will speak English.
Yes.
So it means English is something. It's a. I remember my honorable professor, Dr. K.K. Kathuria. He used to say one thing when we did our masters of English. He said, English is a commodity. There will be a time then you will be able to sell this and you will make money. I have got a job in English. So it means my job and career is in English. That was 20 years ago. Even now the things are same.
Yeah.
In India, there are thousands of learning centers. We call them IELTS centers. We call them English centers. There are thousands of people who go there. And those who go there are from the regions of India, from the small cities of India. Why? They have a dream to go abroad. Between Uzbekistan and India, the difference is, which is a challenge, that India opened to the world quite long back.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan has started doing it very well and recently. I mean, in the last 10 years, they have changed their approach. So India is crazy, Uzbekistan is crazy,
Yeah.
because we know that our young generation needs good careers. Even if they do jobs in Uzbekistan or in India, multinational companies are coming, the BPO is coming, so they need that thing. Indian learning centers prepare you for abroad. I mean, people who are going to the US, they're going to Canada, they're going to Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, I mean, hundreds of countries. And all those countries, because we, like South Asians, Central Asians, we don't have English as our main language. That is why they say you need to bring a certificate of proficiency at this level, maybe 7.5, 8, 8.5, then you get a scholarship. So India is equally crazy. In my city, which is a small city, Kurukshetra, Haryana, which is a region near New Delhi, the small city will also have learning centers of English. Big cities will also have learning centers of English. We have got the same number of people who get into the classes and come back with some, you know, books like IELTS books and something. It's almost the same as the Barkhal, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same in India as well.
Yeah, great, great. So let's talk about the how to improving the, let's say, IELTS skills. I mean, the all four skills when it comes to speaking, writing, listening. It's high time to share your secrets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secret.
Yeah, secrets. Let's start with speaking. You know, in Uzbekistan, young people, even the older ones, have a really big fear to start speaking in English language. What is the first thing to overcome this fear, these difficulties, these challenges in terms of speaking? How do you think?
Okay. Now, you know, when you mentioned it, you named speaking, maybe writing and listening. You put listening on the third one, right? So that's the fault we all have. Now, what happens is, like, listening should be the first one in preparation. In examination, no, okay, I agree. But if I will not listen to it, I will not speak good. So LSRW, that is the basic, the foundation of it, listening, then speaking. Then parents will say, oh, Parveen has started listening and then now he can speak. They send you to school. There you start what? Reading, and then you start writing.
Yeah.
So there are two types of skills, receptive and expressive. Listening is what? Receptive. Speaking is expressive. Then we have got reading, which is again receptive, and then writing is expressive. So listening and speaking are family members, then reading and writing are family members. You cannot write well if you don't read well. You cannot speak good if you don't listen good. So I will call listening to be the first one. Anyone who's going to prepare for IELTS, decide 1 hour, 2 hours of listening to something again and again. Like you like TED Talks, which people like here. You are going to listen to a podcast. You are going to listen to foreign language TV channels, episodes, even IELTS Secrets episodes. Don't listen to them or watch them only once, because it's learning. Watch them again and again so that that vocabulary becomes part of you.
Yeah.
So I will say listening is that. And I will talk about some quick secrets also later on about listening, speaking, reading and writing, all of them. I'll come to speaking now. Speaking is, there are two parts here. Fluency, everyone's fluent, it should be fluent, like we are speaking and we are we're not braking, right?
Yeah.
So we are going. So it's like the car is going and you're driving and there's no stop. So in speaking, the fluency part that we are talking is related to the unbreakable part. There's no interruption, you don't get disturbed, you keep on speaking on it. This is what we are talking about, speaking. There's one more part, let me speak this thing. We are sitting in a studio. The studio is in the television and radio company of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a country in Central Asia. Central Asia has got many other countries also. Countries are neighbors to each other. Each other person helps the other neighbor as well. Some people do not help others. Those who do not help. If I'm speaking this thing, it's fluent.
Yeah, it's
but
fluent.
where is the meaning? I mean, which topic I'm speaking? Like, you know, like I like all the flowers. Do I like some fruits also? Then you keep on speaking. So you need to know that there is an idea.
Yeah.
Around that idea, you need to bring some thoughts. So if today, like in this secret, open secret lesson that we have, this meeting we have of your show, if we talk about IELTS, that is fine. But if we move to other topics, you know, suppose we start talking about Bollywood, then our viewers will say, what are they doing, man? They're not on the topic. So we need to put something like this is at the center. Around this, you keep on making something. So speaking
being on the topic.
On the topic.
Just, yeah.
Every 3-4 steps you have to come back on the topic. If you don't do that, the examiner has got a paper or something. They just cross, minus, cross, plus, minus, cross. This is what they do. So speaking should have fluency. Don't stop. But it should have a meaningful fluency. How meaningful fluency can be created, we'll talk.
That is the basic secret to
talk.
get a high band score from the IELTS exam, right?
Yes.
So when it comes to speaking, it is really neat here to talk about the mistakes that while we are talking, most of learners have a really difficulty or the fear to make the mistakes. Once they just make the mistakes, they just stop speaking.
They just say, okay, I give up and then I'll speak next. Now the mistakes are two types here, and I have done a study in my classrooms with Uzbek students or the students in Uzbekistan. The problems, let me tell this secret as well. Tenses, a sense of time, there's a problem in it. Sometimes the mistakes will be the time mistakes. Like the past will become the present and the present will become, you know, this. And another one they do, which is slightly strange, which is pronouns, he and she.
Yeah.
That also becomes.
Because we don't have any kind of she or he pronouns.
In Hindi also we are not. Like the end of the sentence in Hindi will decide we are talking about a male or a female. But in English we have that one. So I would advise that tenses, sense of time, that you're talking about present or past. The second one is the pronouns, which is a mistake. The third mistake, which is very strange, is I call it like there's a disturbance. He has come. So this has is going to fly somewhere else. So the arrangement of words should be like, you know, subject, verb, object. So we need to know the syntax or the sentence structure. Keep looking at it. Keep looking at it and your brain will start learning it. Believe me. Like if you do not spend time with English, the sentence structure will always have a disturbance. So that should stop. I mean, tenses, then pronouns are there. Tenses means the verbs also, and the pronouns are there, and then that structure of the sentence. These are the mistakes that happen.
Yeah. So when it comes to, let's say, sharing speaking secrets, it's really let's say important thing to talk about the communication skills, because we are learning English language to communicate with the people. And you just teaching the communication skills, and it is better to share the role of communications.
You asked me the right question that we were discussing as well. IELTS is not an examination of your English language. It's an examination of English language communicative competence. So can you communicate in English? This is what they check. They don't check English. If that was there, the dictionary will have 11 on 10, I mean. Or maybe any any professor of English can have 11. If you know something like, you know, knowledge, ilm, that is, you have got some knowledge of English, but you cannot express it. But when you talk to your friends, they say, wow, you are 9-band person, and you say, no, I got 6.5. Reason, that time you could not express. So if you know only this much of English, or you know this much, believe me, believe all good people, that you need to use what you have. So that is one part that I will insist here. And when it is about vocabulary, if I add on to what you were talking or what we are trying to do, vocabulary does not come to you by reading one word every day. That formula sometimes I don't like. It is about spending time in maybe some atmosphere of it. And I'm sitting here, can I name all the things in the studio? You're sitting in a cafe, keep looking, do I know this in English, do I know in English? And then you go to the bank and then you keep on doing this. We call it English for specific purposes, academic English, which is analyzed in the examination. I mean, you can easily do a song translation, but they're not searching for it. So wherever you are, to speak good, to understand good, to write good, or maybe to read as well, you need to know the places. So spend 30 minutes, everyone can play a game. I'll play that game with you as a representation to all of them also. So to improve all this thing, which is speaking in something, vocabulary and all, you need to be in that place, make your own collection of words. It works very well.
We have to learn the new vocabularies in that way.
That way, right. That's good.
So we have already learned some secrets, speaking secrets from you, and it's really high time to get more secrets from writing skills, because in Uzbekistan, for Uzbek young people, it's really hard, difficult. I mean, even I have a struggle to write better in a better way.
Writing is something, you know, there is one thing, one thought is one sentence. Now that's the formula. Sometimes what we do is one sentence we put so many thoughts. So one thought means one sentence. All thoughts around one idea, and one idea means one paragraph. So one paragraph is one complete collection of thoughts. One sentence is one thought. So if I've got one thought that I should say, is there something in this mug? So I should only say this thing. Is there something in it and can I have it? So I asked you two questions. I should divide them in two. So it means that one sentence should be always equal to one thought, and then all the thoughts should be around one idea when you're writing. And you have seen a tree. It has got branches, which is a very small exercise we do in the schools for English. And I guess most of our viewers also know this thing, that you need to make, suppose I want to write on something which is about maybe AI, or I can say traveling is good for learning. This is the topic they give you and then you're writing on it. Or they say talk about climate change, or they say talk about football in Uzbekistan, or they say talk about reading, talk about what is good, printed books or digital books, and they're writing an essay. You're talking about writing. In that one, they need to see a tree, one branch, many flowers, one branch, many flowers. And on the rough page, they can draw it. So we need to see that it will have how many? Maybe 8 paragraphs, one paragraph introduction, another paragraph for ending, and then branches, center, and then revolve around it, put up the sentences.
Now I understand the point. What we do, we just try to show up the beautiful language using some collocations, idioms, in terms, not just instead of showing our ideas. Instead of just trying to show up our English skills, we have to try, we have to think to show up our opinions on that topic, right? In order to get a high band score.
It should be organized also. You know what happens is, like, we have got so many ideas and we cannot put them in a sequence. Like Uzbekistan has got regions. You are talking about Bukhara, and then you move on to maybe Kashkadarya, or maybe you go to Samarkand, and then suddenly you come back to Bukhara. So they say, why are you talking about Bukhara? Finish Bukhara's details first and then move on to another region. So, I mean, you should organize it. Like you have got some food, so you serve one, and then the second, then the third, and don't delay it. So
we have to deliver our, let's say, opinions, ideas on that topic step by step.
Step by step is required. And I would say one thing, like when you're giving IELTS, they check what? Coherence and cohesion, like this one.
That is the difficult thing that we just keep.
But it's written there. Like if I'll show you, like there is something like this. So you go online, what they say, that it is used in such a way that it is very rarely attracts attention. Paragraph is skillfully managed. They are saying it. So if your paragraph is skillfully managed, on what way he can give you a minus? You know, these examiners who do this IDP or all this thing, they're not there maybe to appreciate you, they are there to find mistakes. So when you enter, you are a 9-band person. You do mistakes and you come down. So it's not like you go from 5.5 to 9, you actually come down by doing mistakes. Everyone is a great English speaker. You go there, you do mistakes, oh, this person is talking about this, it's not connected. -1, -2, 2.3. So you go down. And there is one thing about vocabulary, they say. A wide range of vocabulary is used accurately and appropriately in very natural and sophisticated control of structures. What happened? We were taking some interview. A person came, a student, a Yoshlar, like very young, energetic person. He gave his introduction. And when he finished, all the professors said, you know, that was an IELTS template. So it means he was not natural. What he was speaking was like ChatGPT. So you should bring some natural touch to it, which means there is a sentence. Like I'm speaking here now, and when I'm going to stop that. So 7 words, 12 words. You need to speak maybe 12 words maximum in one sentence. You need to make sentences of 4 words also. It should not always be like ChatGPT or OpenAI or something that all sentences are equal size. Every sentence has got some impressive academic word. No. It should sound that you are a learner of maybe 18 years. You cannot use the language that 60-year person uses. That will be fake. So avoid that.
Yeah, great, thanks. And it's really high time to share another secrets when it comes to listening and reading skills, because we have a limited time.
Okay, listening now. Listening. If I'm speaking something, let me speak. And then let me see what you get out of it. India is a country in South Asia. India got its freedom in 1947. There are many Indians who are working in Uzbekistan in terms of education and even in engineering and IT sector as well. Medical facilities from India are really appreciated in Uzbekistan, and there are people who go to India for treatment which is related to maybe liver and kidney and sometimes brain functions, as well as related to heart diseases also. Done.
Yeah.
Now, I have talked about places, proper nouns. I've spoken, you listen to. So whenever someone is speaking, what should you look at? You need to look at proper nouns, the dates or the years, yil as we call it in Uzbek. You need to look at whenever they are talking about adjectives, whenever they are using conjunctions like if, but, therefore, however, it means they are going to make a question on it. Whenever they are giving you data, you need to remember. Whenever they are doing a comparison, you need to remember. So you know 5 W's? What, when, where, how. So you need to see the true, false, yes, no. If there is any statement when you're listening which can transform into yes, no, which can come as a WH question. So when you're listening, keep in mind, is there a question in it? Like, you know, Uzbekistan is a country in Central Asia.
Yeah.
Central Asia, Uzbekistan. 2 proper nouns. What else? Question.
Yeah, that is the secrets of
what
listening
is
skills.
Uzbekistan is a country in Central Asia. Uzbekistan is a country blank. Like if I say Uzbekistan is dash, I mean blank, in Central Asia. Am I going to ask you, is it a country or a town? That will not become a question. The question will be which country is mentioned or which part of the world is mentioned. So proper nouns, adjectives, verbs, and then you remember them.
While we are just listening, we have to be attentive what kind of questions will be asked.
The 5 W's, 1 H, how, what, when, where, and something like true and false.
That's really great secrets that I have learned for today. Yeah. So what about reading? For the reading, which let's say tips or techniques can be
You're talking about reading comprehension. Like I guess there are 40 questions that come and then you do that. In reading also the same thing is applied, but you have a pencil with you, maybe you can underline something, and if it is an online one, still you can remember things. So in reading, the same 5 W's and 1 H remains. In reading, and then you have to write also, like it's a reading comprehension. Comprehension means understanding. Do you understand what is the theme, the idea, and how you define the idea? Maybe you have read the complete essay and they say, can you tell us what is the topic of it? And you say, oh my God, I just read it. What can be the topic? The topic remains whenever they are making some judgments or some conclusions in the beginning or maybe at the end also. You need to know every paragraph has got part of the main theme. As we say, like there is one theme. You understand the word theme, right?
Yeah.
The theme or idea, the central idea, or maybe the topic. Every topic will be divided in paragraphs. It means different ideas, and then every paragraph will have thoughts. So if you know that structure, you will always underline, again, some year is there, 19, this and this, 1987 or something, underline it, names of people and something, their connection, the data they are mentioning. In reading also, it works. There's one thing which has happened to me when I was learning English. Even if you do not understand the meaning of a word, just look at the complete sentence. Just concentrate on it and you will understand the meaning.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of language.
Yeah.
So you need to see that the meaning can come to you.
During listening and reading, keeping in mind the questions, I mean the possible questions
Which
can help a lot.
you will create.
Yeah.
Which you will create.
To solve the questions.
Yes,
Yeah,
that can be
great.
there.
Yeah, that is the great secrets that I have learned for today, for both listening and reading.
Great.
Yeah, these secrets never shared by our guests. Thank you very much for Mr.
Nice.
Parveen,
Thank you
such
so
kind of
much.
great techniques. Actually, I want to take this conversation. It's very long because we are talking about very beneficial secrets on the IELTS, but our time is limited. At the end, if you have some overall recommendations or advice for the IELTS learners, even the Uzbek students about the English learning, you are very welcome.
I would say start using voice typing on your mobile phones. That's the pronunciation or the talaffuz check that you will do. Start using some online resources like you can talk to ChatGPT as well, or maybe other OpenAI or these things. And there's one thing, I call it OmniScript. OmniScript is make a script of your introduction, do a practice of it with some teachers and someone, so that the day you will give an introduction, you will do that. One last part I will say, there is one crucial score which gives you one extra band sometimes. Can you expand your communication? Like you're talking to me, and then I spoke something, and then you did not come with next question. Then so, Parveen, she is not asking next question. Can I take communication ahead? That should always be there. So there should always be plan A and plan B. Plan A, ready answer. Plan B, if the examiner doesn't come with next question, can I make my answer big? So you should always prepare like, I will speak this much. If she or he will not stop me, I will add this much. So you should always have information 1, information 2 with you. And for that thing, write it, try the speaking practice.
Yeah, thank you very much for your recommendations and advice, and for your, let's say, visit on the IELTS Secrets program. We are very happy to have a kind of intelligent conversation with you, and I'm waiting for your next visits.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
So dears, that is the end of our today's IELTS Secrets program. I do believe today's secrets, techniques can be helpful for your IELTS preparation. If so, we have achieved our today's program goal. So until our next programs, keep studying, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep watching IELTS Secrets program on Foreign Language TV channel.